Hi folks, hope you're doing well. So it's New Year's Day. We're now in 2023. Well, there you go. Does it make any difference? No. Not in any way, shape or form. Yeah. No. And I just had a phone call with Carney. He was supposed to go to an event, New Year's event, with his girlfriend's sister, and her boyfriend or her husband or whatever. And at the last minute, his girlfriend said she didn't want him there. Yeah, she didn't want him to be with her at this New Year's party. And he told me that this morning, and I said, well, yeah. New Year's, you're bringing in the New Year together. That's one of the most important times for a couple to be together. Yeah. If she doesn't want to be with you on that occasion, well, she says the reason that she didn't want him there is because he'd be watching her. Yeah. If she doesn't want to be watched, what is she up to? Or what does she want to be up to? Well, the thing is, with her, she was with someone else when Colin first met her and when Colin first started going with her. Physically. Yeah, when they were first having sex together, it was in the back of a car while she was with some other bloke. And she was admitting to Colin that she often went out, met men, had sex with them, and then went back to this other bloke. Yeah. Yeah, no thank you. Not for me. But it got me thinking that, yeah. Well, because I like, I find women to be attractive. Some women to be very attractive. And it's interesting how so many of them aren't married. Or, have been married and are now divorced. And so it gets you thinking. Well, especially, as I say, this time last year, I was in that situation of believing in, the wife that I'd written about 10 years earlier. So, yeah. And, so I was thinking, okay, I've said recently, in the churches I've been into, I haven't, as far as I know, met the woman that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. That is true. If I was to look at it from a point of view, simply from a physical point of view, have I met a woman, let's say, if I was worldly, if I was as I was when I was in my early 20s, I guess, just wanted a one-night stand, have I met women in the church that I would happily do that with? Yeah. Because they're attractive. There's enough attractive ladies, yeah. But the reality when it comes down to it is that if I'm going to be joined in marriage to somebody, I'm not just going to be going to bed with that person. We're not just going to have the physical side of the relationship. We're going to be waking up every morning together. We're going to be having breakfast together. We're going to be sitting down at a table, hopefully a table, and there will need to be conversation. We're going to be walking and talking together for the rest of our lives. If all we're basing it on is physical, we don't have much of a chance, do we? Because if at the start of the relationship I'm picking this lady based upon what she looks like, and not based upon who she is as a person, but then the chances that we're going to be able to walk together as companions is very slim. However, if you do it the other way round, if you base it upon that you're trying to pick someone who you're going to be comfortable with spending every day with, then what you're going to be doing, you're going to be trying to pick someone who could be like a best friend. Somebody with a similar sense of humour. Somebody with similar interest. It's going to be that you're looking for, because really that's someone that you'll happily spend every day with for the rest of your life. Because you love spending time with that person. You can see why some people are attracted to people of the same gender, therefore. Yeah, it can be very difficult to find someone of the opposite gender who will think like you, who will enjoy the same interests as you. You know? It's not common because men and women think differently. So, yeah. But that's the point. We need to be guided by God. We need to be led by God, and we need to be basically trusting God that He will basically make that happen when it's right to make it happen. So for me, even I talk about it a lot. The reason why I talk about it a lot is because I'm in this situation where I'm waiting for this. I know that other people might be waiting for this, and I know other people are in relationships that are bad, and it's an important thing to talk about, because if you're in a relationship that's bad, chances are, if your mental and emotional is negative, then your spiritual and your physical are going to be negative. Certainly, if you're with the wrong person, if you're with someone that you shouldn't be with because they're not the right person for you, all the while you're still with that person, everything in life is trying to scream at you that you're with the wrong person. But if you are a churchy person, you will stay with that person because you believe that that's what someone who's of church, someone who's a good little Christian, will stay in a bad marriage rather than divorce. Right? If you're in that sort of situation, it means that your spiritual walk will suffer. That's why I've said before, the church will start, whomsoever God has joined together. Yeah, well, that's the point. Look at it from that point of view. Whomsoever God has joined. You can't say that anyone who joined together was joined together by God. You cannot say that. Because again, you've got to understand what joined together is. And joined together is when man and female, have full intercourse. Yeah, that's joined together. That's the way that you are spiritually joined, as in marriage. So, okay, so everyone who's been joined together. So there's many women and many men who have hundreds of husbands and hundreds of wives. Is that God's will? No. No, it isn't. So the whole idea that whomsoever God has joined together, yeah, we've got to understand that. But we've got to understand what that sort of relationship would look like. If God has joined you together with somebody, what is it supposed to look like? Now, that's not saying that the ideal person for you, where it's going to be beautiful and sweet and lovely every single day for the rest of your life. There will be challenges. Now, some of you may face challenges early, some of you may face challenges in the middle or towards the end, but there will be challenges. Of course, because it's about relationships. But if it's the right one with you, then you will help each other to deal with those things. You won't be drowned by them. You won't feel like you're being drowned. Yeah, you won't have to fight to survive, because when you're with the right person, then You're strong where they're weak. They're strong where you're weak. So it means you are constantly helping each other. If you don't feel that that's happening, you're probably with the wrong person. Yeah. And it's quite likely that God did not join you together. Put it this way, as I've said before, if God did join you together, then maybe you need to separate for a while to get things right with God, and then God will rejoin you together. There's no issue with that at all. Even if you're married, if you need to separate for a while and even divorce, to get right with God, and then God will rejoin you both together later, once you've done all of that, then that's a far wiser, far better thing than staying together and hoping that it's just going to work out. So, yeah, these things are very important to talk about. Yeah. Relationships are so bloody important. Yeah. Relationships with people in church, relationships with people at work. And then you've got your personal relationship you've got your family as well, that relationship. And then your girlfriend, boyfriend, fiance, husband, wife, sort of thing. So, the amount of relationships that people have, and if even half of those relationships are dysfunctional, your mental health is going to suffer immensely because of that. So it's important to understand how God wants you to deal with that sort of stuff. So to talk about that is very important. Yes, even if I'm just trusting God to deal with that in my life, it's still important to talk about that sort of stuff. It is helpful. So there you go. You take care. God bless. Speak to you soon. Bye.